I consider body positive fat positive, or the way that I use positivity is fat positive. But that's like seeing fat people as beautiful, seeing yourself, if you're a fat person, as beautiful.
Another suggestion is just try, like, if you struggle to find the beauty in larger people, you gotta start trying today. Whenever I see a really gorgeous girl, I will always make sure to point out, oh my gosh, that girl is so pretty. Like, that she is so gorgeous. And it's not because it's like that's someone I'd be interested in or anything like that, but it just taught me one thing, to find the beauty in other people. Second of all, stop like having um a toxic slash competitive mindset towards women that are pretty, and to have an encouraging mindset towards that. So I think that for all of you that are, if you still think, okay, you know what, fat people, I struggle to find the beauty in that or whatever, it's like, just start, at least try. Um,
Yeah,
and you'd be surprised at how changing your perspective can do a lot on how you look at the world and look at other people.
yeah. And I would say, um, because within the body positive or body liberation movements, which are different, by the way, and I could get into that, but there are many schools of thought, and one of them is fat positive, or I consider body positive um, fat positive, or the way that I use positivity is fat positive. But that's like seeing fat people as beautiful, seeing yourself, if you're a fat person, as beautiful. There's also a school of thought called body neutrality, which Jamila Jamil, who's the founder of iWay, and she's also an actress in The Good Place, I believe is what it's called. She's very famous for speaking about her issues with eating disorders, as well as her views on body neutrality. What body neutrality is taking the focus off of your body and other people's bodies, and simply seeing them for who they are rather than what they look like. Um, so when it comes to body neutrality for yourself, as a fat person, you'd be like, okay, I am fat. And instead of necessarily feeling good about it, you can just feel like that is just what I am, but it's not who I am. And when it comes to body neutrality, as you see other people, you can say, well, they are fat, and I don't feel positively or negatively about that. That's just what they look like and not who they are. The reason that I prefer fat positivity and body positivity over body neutrality is because I do see my fatness as a part of my identity, and I feel better personally just seeing everyone as beautiful, and seeing myself as beautiful. And body neutrality doesn't mean that you don't see yourself as beautiful. It just means you see your beauty based on, not on your body, based on who you are. But as a fat person, like I said, being fat is a part of who I am, in my opinion. It's related to a lot of my experiences. So if you're having trouble seeing fat people as beautiful, I would say a step is to simply start seeing them as neutral, or like start seeing people as neutral, not good or bad, but just as they exist in these bodies, but who are they really? So that's one step into, and I believe once you can master that step, it's easier to get to the fat positive.
I had to kind of convince myself to believe this, and now I do. I do not think anyone is ugly. I do not think
I don't,
ugly is a way to describe people physically. You know how I came to this conclusion is whenever I'd hear someone say something along no matter how pretty they are, what their prettiness rating is, if I would hear them say something insecure, all of a sudden I can just start to see everything beautiful about them, because I'm trying to see everything beautiful in you to make you feel better. So if we could all just try to by default do that, is try to find the beauty in them. And also to the media and all those TV producers out there, stop making the fat characters like the joke characters,
yeah.
the comedy. the comedic characters. Like they can be main characters, they can have a love interest, they can be the villain, they can be the protagonist. Like they don't just have to be the character that we either pity or find funny.
Yeah, and if you want to see an awesome show that does that, it's called Shrill on Hulu, with Adie Bryant, and it's amazing. She's the main character, and it has 2 seasons now, and it's actually based off of a book, so you can also read that book.
Also, the movie like I Feel Pretty.
Yes, I was just thinking about that one with
Like,
Amy Schumer.
but it's like I thought Amy Schumer was pretty, so it's like the whole plot of like, oh, it's this girl that like, you know, isn't conventionally attractive or whatever, and I think she's gorgeous. Like I said, I've been practicing.
Yeah, you see everyone is gorgeous.
I do, I really do. So when they have
Good.
these movies where they're implying that like, oh, the main character isn't attractive, and it's like, well, what?
Like with that movie, it was partially based on her own insecurities and her
That's
seeing
true.
herself as not pretty. So like obviously all people cannot feel pretty
Yeah,
and
totally.
feel very insecure. And so yeah, but the media in general, like it doesn't represent fat people, it doesn't represent fat people of color. It is certainly getting better. And we have examples like we just talked about, but the media is a huge colossus. It's a colossus of like part of the reason our society is the way it is. And so people within the media, if they can make a difference and hire fat people to play fat characters and recognize like all of those things, it makes a huge difference, because slowly but surely it will like chip away at fat phobia in society.
Absolutely. So, moral of the story, everyone, is hire fat people to play all kinds of roles, and we also want to be more inclusive to everyone. And also, we need to take away that negative connotation to the word fat. So, I mean, obviously, don't go around calling people fat because we're not there yet. But we have
Well,
to.
you wouldn't go around calling someone thin randomly, like.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because when people comment, "Oh my gosh, you look so skinny, your waist is so snatched," it's like that's a compliment. But
also
if someone, like,
very
have a little bit of,
problematic.
yes, that's a whole other thing. Which I kind of talked about with Lucy, but yeah, it's like, yeah. So everyone,
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh, I was
Sorry.
just going to say, you might accidentally be complimenting someone who has an extreme eating disorder. Yeah.
So, guys, if you want to compliment, why don't we start with complimenting on the inside too?
Yeah.
Also, just kind of being more mindful about our compliments, our physical compliments.
Yeah.
Let's be more inclusive towards the fat population. Let's take away that negative connotation to the word fat, and let's try to find the beauty in everyone instead of the problems in everyone.
Yeah.
Serena, thank you for joining me this morning. This was a really intriguing conversation. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have their opinions, but I appreciate you for sharing yours and for bringing your background knowledge to our table.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me a voice in this conversation. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, I'm at intro.to.body.posy. Or you can just Google my name, Serena Nangia. I'm sure we're gonna link everything in this.
We're gonna link all of it down below. We're gonna see all her websites, her resource on how to be an ally to fat people. Hopefully, if she has any more events, if you follow me and follow her, you'll get those notifications too. And
subscribe to the channel. Subscribe.
Click the notification button. And Serena, if you ever make a channel, oh, you really should. Like if you want Serena to make a YouTube channel.
I'll consider it.
Yes, girl. Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is Reflections by Lily. I hope you guys reflect on how you guys look at fat people and how you look at other people in general, and I hope this makes you think a little bit. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at our next video.
Thanks.